So it's the final game before the stupid international break, and this is going to be a tough test for Forest. Can Nuno keep that away record going? Can Forest cause yet another upset this season against a Cartel 6 club away from home? Welcome to the preview, where we're going to take you through the team, the plan, and what I think is going to play out. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. I hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the preview for Chelsea versus Forest. Are we still allowed to call him Chelsea? I still am. I don't really care. In today's video, we're going to cover off the predicted team sheet, how Forest are going to line up, how Forest can beat Chelsea, and of course, my thoughts on how this result is going to go. But before we do, as always, please don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And random question of the day. Let me know what your favorite color is in the comments down below. And before we kick off, let me just quickly say thank you to the sponsors of today's video, MGW, where you can invest in players as if they were on a stock market. So if you guys have thought about investing some money and you haven't really understood a stock market, the FTSE 100, crypto coins, bit chains, and all this stuff, then this is the layman's version for us people who know our football. And the market is up and buoyant right now. You can pick from Forest players, English Premier League players, you can go to Spanish players, whoever you want. As you can see, I'm invested right now in Saka and of course in our boy Elliot Anderson, and now with Morgan Gibbs-White on the market, he's my next target. On top of that as well, you can vote for new players to come onto the market. So if you want to help me, because Murillo is going to be worth so much money, he needs to get to 100 votes. He's currently on 42. Let's give him a vote and get him to 43. So sign up for free at MGW. Vote for Murillo, invest in the players you want to. You can scan that QR code there, or you can go and click on the pinned link in the comments down below. Let's jump into this preview. Okay, so with it being the last game before the international break, what I really don't want is Forest to walk away from this match with an L or a heavy L or anything like that. And it just feels like the hard work, the good vibes that we've had at the start of the season, like the balloon just pops on it. So I do really want Forest to get something out of this, but it's going to be extremely tough. Under Enzo Maresca, Chelsea are reborn, reformed, as I predicted at the start of the season, by the way. And a lot of you laughed at me. I said Chelsea will finish at least, well, probably second. I think I had them down based on what happened with Man City and the 1-1-5. And we are starting to see that team develop and become a really strong unit. But let's not forget, Forest are undefeated since we've been back and promoted at Stamford Bridge. Drawn there and we've beaten them there, so maybe that's a good omen. So let's get into the team sheet and let's show you potentially what I think could happen. So we jump across to here. This is the weird formation that started against Fulham last week, and I don't think we're going to see a repeat of this. Now, on the forum yesterday, the panelists put their teams together, and I'll be honest, they were all getting it wrong. I'll show you what I think the right one is. Now, we're recording this before Nuno's done his presser, so in terms of injuries, we have no real updates for you. I believe Bolly will be close to being back into the squad, but I don't think he'll be starting. There is also a chance that Morgan Gibbs-White could be suspended, but I don't think the appeal has gone through. And in fact, I think once that goes through, it will probably end up being a fine because he has charges of improper conduct. So let's redo this team to what I think it needs to be. And I'm going to straight from the off say that the easiest way that this should be thought of from Nuno, in my opinion, is to copy and paste what we did against Liverpool. Now, maybe the same personnel isn't available or what have you, but I'm talking about the structure. Block out the middle of the park, pack the midfield, hit them on the counter attack. Don't go for the width. Now, I know that might be an unpopular thing to say because Callum Hudson-Odoi is Callum Hudson-Odoi, but think of the game plan, think of who we're playing against and how we can best beat them. So I'm going to go with the 4-3-2-1. And in terms of who that is, well, that is another question in itself. Now, obviously we have to remove a player, so Wood comes out. If Morgan Gibbs-White isn't banned, he comes back in for me. And what I would do, I would keep Taiwo there. I'll talk about the strikers in just a second. And I actually am not against the exact same midfield that we saw against Liverpool, which would basically be these five in that style. Now, you can call it a 4-4-1-1. I prefer it as a 4-3-2-1 because you can then create those boxes around the Chelsea midfield, which allows us, you know, that chance to regain possession. The other thing I would say, and the reason I want to talk about Dominguez here, I think it is imperative that he starts. If Forest go to this game and play a low block formation, it is not the best chance to win because Chelsea's keeper, for me, Sanchez, is their weak link. He gives away loads of opportunities and creates plenty of mistakes when he's under pressure. If Forest play a deep line and they allow him the time, then he's not going to obviously make those mistakes because he'll have easy outlets to his back line, to his midfield, etc. And that's why Dominguez has to be the key to this game because he is a high presser. He is really good at pressing in opposition's half. Yes, there are risks involved to when he does it because he ends up maybe leaving some holes and gaps when he pushes forward. But this is why Forest need to sort out their whole high pressing situation in essence. Now, I'm not saying we need to play, you know, Spurs and Postecoglou style on the halfway line, but I am saying that we can't allow Chelsea the freedom for the keeper to dictate how he passes and when he passes it. And that's why I've gone with Dominguez. I hope that makes sense. Now, Morgan Gibbs-White obviously brings the creativity, but more so importantly for me is his work rates. He'll be able to help the midfield three, drop it into a 4, maybe even a 5 if we need to, kind of 4-5-1 formation out of possession. And that's why I've got him in there. What I'm questioning right now is potentially Ward-Prowse. Over the last couple of games, I don't think he's had stellar matches. He's felt a bit Freuler-like to me, a bit of a ghost. But kind of think we need someone who, if we can win a cheap free kick on the edge of the box, has that X factor about him, who can put it in the top bins, etc. So in a way, we may need to carry him just for those added elements of dead balls, free kicks, corners, etc. And then I've put Yates in basically because everyone else is injured. Now, I think Yates had a good game at Stamford Bridge last season, but that does not necessitate that he's going to have a good one this one. He needs to just calm down with his diving and you're getting yellow cards, etc. A lot of people are saying get Yates to mark Cole Palmer. Maybe, but I don't know. I maybe would stick Anderson on him. I think Anderson's work rates are just as good. So those are my midfielders. The defense kind of picks its back line. And the only other change I'd make, and I know it's controversial and people are like, but I'd put Miguel in, man. It's like, I think Nicky said it best yesterday. When's going to be the right time to play him? And something that I think Rob mentioned on the forum yesterday was, well, if we don't know how good he is, do we know whether or not we need a new keeper in January? And I think unless we play him, we're not going to know. So I would go with Miguel in goal. And then that would be my team. I think keep it simple. And then in the second half, deploy the same tactics we did against Liverpool. If we start to smell blood, then bring on the likes of Jota Silva, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Sosa, Elanga. There's plenty of attack there. And the reason I've gone for Wood is because the reason I've gone for Taiwo over Wood is because of what he's done against Chelsea before. With his physicality, with his presence, I think he can cause them more harm than Wood can up front. So that's why I've gone for him. I'll be honest, I don't think Wood's played too well in the last 2 games. And that's why I would choose Taiwo ahead of him. But the likelihood that Taiwo makes it 90 minutes is near on impossible. So Wood, for me, would come on in the second half with the wingers who can then create some chances. And that, for me, would give him a chance to maybe get a couple of opportunities. So that's the team I'm going with. Do you agree with it or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's talk about the Chelsea team quickly. Look, they have, as I always joke, and because people joke to us, we can joke back, they got 1 million players to pick from. but they have quality players to pick from. They can almost play two squads. We've been seeing that in their European campaign and in the Premier League. And there are plenty of threats to look out for. Obviously, everyone's going to go on about Cole Palmer, Shiver and all this crap. I'm sick of hearing about it, but they have other talented players. For me, their midfield looks like it's starting to settle down. You're seeing Dennis, who I still don't rate, and he'll probably score now that I've said that. He seems to be, not Dennis. Dennis is our player. Jackson is the one I'm talking about. Sorry, Miss Jackson, but that's how irrelevant he is to me. But he's starting to bag some goals in as well and looking more consistent. So whatever team Maresca goes with is going to be a threat to us. But if we can control that midfield, not allow them the space, frustrate them a little, start the game, slow it down, delay it, take long overthrow-ins, things like that. That's the way we have to go. But let us not start putting Chelsea in this stratosphere level, you know, with the Real Madrids and everything, because they are not back to that yet. And there will be inconsistencies while Maresca is trying to sort the team out. Having said all that, though, I do feel this is going to be our toughest match. And this is not the same Chelsea we faced last season or even the season before. So I think, I hate to say, but we probably will lose this narrowly. 1-0 or 2-1, something like that. But if we can deploy the same tactics as Liverpool, there is a chance, I think, that we could walk away with a draw. But my head says it's going to be a loss. My heart obviously says we win 5-0. Get your score predictions in down below. Now, we're going to have some exclusive content for you guys for the Patreon members later on this evening, as we will talk to our good mate Charlie about Chelsea and give you guys all the details and what to expect from that team. So if you want to see that, then make sure you're signed up to us on Patreon. The link's in the description. Go check out the Forest Forum if you haven't seen it from yesterday as well. I'll leave it on the end screen for you. Carlos, what the hell were you saying about Marinakis, man? And of course, check out the sponsors of today's video, Micarera. The link's in the pinned comments, or scan this QR code. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.